Hello everyone, welcome to part 7 of my multi-part series. Little quick update for y'all. I've now come through, just went through Hot Springs, Tennessee, and off 209, and still got an hour and a half and 57 miles left to go. Stopped real quick and right there in Hot Springs, get off, stretch my leg, get a drink of water, go to the restroom. Now we're back rolling. So, guess I'll see what road I'm on next, because I forgot to look at Google Maps to just try to prepare what road I'm going to. It's probably, if I would have to guess where I was similar to this area yesterday, it's probably going to be 352. And I just cleaned my visor off, and because I was near water for just a few minutes, there's bugs on it again. Oh well, that's part of it. Gets kind of annoying though after a while, but all's well. Kind of ready to get back home and relax a little bit. Let some of the sore muscles kind of ease off some. I was going to eat lunch back here in that place in Hot Springs, but I think I'm just going to press on, because if I get super full, I'm going to get lazy and want to stop more. So I'm just going to press on, and I'll eat lunch when I get home. By then I'll be about starving, so it'd be much better. Golly, all of a sudden the wind has picked up crazy coming through these mountains. One thing about a bike, crosswinds are not exactly a lot of fun sometimes, but that's just the nature of the beast, something you got to deal with. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the rest of the trip back will be uneventful. One thing that I didn't mention when I was on 209 is for about a stretch of about 7 or 8 miles, they, because it's a county road, I guess, they went through and cleaned out the edges of the ditches, so to speak, and there was luckily it was dry and wasn't caked up or slick or anything, because it hasn't rained in a little while, but there was dried mud in several places. It was almost like they tried to clean it off, and it just ended up looking like dust, kind of. Of course, the GoPro wouldn't have picked it up anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered, but that was a little sketchy. I was coming through that where the pavement was all broken up too, and I was like, what is this? Because the road was all brown. I didn't know if it was, sand or what. But luckily it's all well. Bike's in one piece. I'm fine. So press on, continue on more to get home. I do have some exciting news. That I'll make another motovlog on the way back home today, once I get back in my area. Just thought I'd give you a little teaser, so to speak. I'm not going to reveal what that is just yet. But, it's a little cool today, too. It's like maybe 65 and overcast. I've got base layers on underneath my summer riding gear. Super comfortable, the Ruka stuff that I've praised about so much. It's good even on touring trips like this. The more I wear it, the more it just feels like just wearing a broken set of gloves, But it does, when you start getting down to 60, especially if there's not sun beating on you like right now. It is a little chilly, even with base layers on, but it's not unbearable. I don't know if I'd want to wear it all day like this, but for 2 or 3 hours, it's not too bad. But, that's part of riding motorcycles. You have to learn to adapt and deal with plus and minuses of riding. It's not always going to be, 80 degrees with no humidity and not a cloud in the sky, no wind, and blah, 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 blah. It's part of the things you just have to get used to. So, but there's lots of bikes out this weekend. I guess the cooler weather and finally no rain in all the local areas, for that speak. Like 2 or 3 days of 0 chance of rain at all. Supposed to be today, I guess it'll burn off. Supposed to be today, it's supposed to be just partly cloudy, and it looks like mostly cloudy to me, but still no rain, so whatever. Not that big of a deal. Just something you got to deal with, and another downgrade to go down. I just talked to a fine gentleman back there that it's not really trip-related, but you run across several people on your journeys, and you learn stuff about talking to other people who are riding for years. There's a guy back there who had my perfect bike. I don't know if it'd be my dream bike, but it'd definitely be a bike that I would keep for many years to come. An FJR, an 06 model, one of the ones that I think 06 actually still has ABS, but don't quote me on that. but it does still have the electronic windshield. The dash is kind of, all digital, and the gauges and stuff are a little different. It's laid out different than that. It looks the same from the front end for the most part and from the side and the back, but the main difference is just really gauges and some of the updates they've done to it. But the guy on the 06 model, he said he brought it in 06 FJR. I seen it and I was like, is that an FJR? What is that? I was pretty sure it was, but I couldn't get a fact around the fact that it was orange. And I was speaking to the guy. He was probably mid-50s, I'd say. And it's kind of funny. He was saying that he teased all his Harley buddies about it, where he's ridden the bike so much, he just decided to do a complete color change on it. I thought it was pretty funny. He said that the bike was bought new in 06, like I said, and had 115,000 miles on it. Original motor, original transmission, so just normal stuff, tires, brakes, brake pads. He said he has rebuilt the suspension a couple times, but that amount of miles on any bike, you're going to have to do that anyway. So that really says something about my trusty old FJ. Just because some people say it's not a touring bike, that it's more of a, like this bike, a backyard burner, so to a back road burner, so to speak. They're wrong, because if he's ridden that bike in that many time, 12 years now, he's definitely put some riding in, done a lot of trips on it, lot of probably 400 or 500 mile days, I'm sure. One of the guys who I'm subscribed to, and he subscribed to me, Two Wheel Rider, where he does all the trip vlog stuff. He had an FJR for years. Probably before he even started his YouTube channel, and there's no telling how many amount of miles the bike he's put on his, but they're just solid bikes. That guy back there had just a V-Stream, a taller touring windshield to get, completely clean air for really burning up the, interstate miles, and a set of bar risers, and that's it. I'm sure he changed the seat or whatever, but that's normal stuff that anybody does to their touring bike. And let's see, what road have I got to go on? Now I've got to go on 208. This is the way I come down. So, that's good to know. I went that way, going towards Asheville yesterday. So I kind of know this road I'm going to be on. Let's see, on this for 3.5 miles, then to 212 north. Okay. So, yeah, I remember this road's kind of broken up, and it's got road construction on the edges and a cross right here, but it's not slick or anything. It's just kind of bumpy. But, yeah, overall, the trip's been fun. Like I said, I've learned a lot on really how to tour on a motorcycle. Plus and minuses of it. The main thing is just having small convenient stuff, really would make a big difference. Like if I had more room on this, or had a set of hard bags on it, or even just a bigger dry bag, so to speak, that's waterproof. Like there's one brand name I've looked at, but I can't remember the name of it now. Kriega, I think, starts with a K, and they're like roll top bags, and they have a system where you can put several bags on there, and that would be something, especially on an FJ, that'd be cool, because you could put like a winter and summer set of riding gear on that, roll it up in one of those bags, or even just a couple of them. Save the side cases for stuff you didn't, like, walk-in hotel room stuff, or just little knick-knack stuff like GoPro batteries, stuff you wanted to get to easier, and maybe a tank bag, and you're good to go. You could do a combination of all the three. You could just use the saddlebags too. One good thing about the FJR and a lot of bikes like that have that type of kind of saddlebag, that opens from the side. Full face helmet fits in there. I wear an XL and a Cherokee R1200 helmet. I've seen several people that I've talked to on there, and their helmet fits in there just fine. If you wore maybe a 2X or a 3X, it might not fit, but that works for me. It fits for me. You put your helmet in there, you walk in someplace to eat, put your coat in the other saddlebag if you got room, or like I said, in the roll top bag, and you can walk in like a regular person, not look like a stormtrooper. I don't mind, the whole thing about, yay, groove payment, fine. Oh, yay. I don't mind the whole thing of, and more of it. I don't mind the whole thing of, walking in, carrying jackets or whatever, but to at least put the helmet up would be nice. Just make it a little easier to get in and out of places. You know, you walk in someplace and have to like set your helmet down, or you have to go to the restroom, and you really don't want to set your helmet down on the floor, and they don't have like a hanger because there's no stall, and it's like, oh, what do I do? So, and you know, my bike's got a helmet lock. I could always use that, but who knows how really safe that really is. So, but bike's been doing fine on the trip. I checked the tire air pressure before I left, checked the oil level, redid the chain maintenance just a couple days before I left. So bike's working like a champ as always. It's just the rider needs to get on with it and get home and give her a little bit of rest. I know I could use a little bit myself, but that's okay. That's it's just part of it. You know, you do a trip like this, or even a longer trip, and you realize some muscles that you normally ride it like in just 100 miles in a day or whatever, or a little less, and then you take a long trip and you realize there's some things and some creaks and groans and some sore muscle spots that you normally don't ride that much, so you normally don't pick up on it, so to speak. So one thing you gotta watch about these little back roads is cars definitely in your lane. It's part of living in the county. I've had that happen to me so many times where I live. It's pathetic. I've had cars 3/4 away in my lane in like a blind curve and meet them and like just stop, because that's the only thing I can do. Like, oh God, please don't hit me. Just lay down on the horn. Nowadays, there's too many distractions with cell phones and stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, my phone's on right now. You can probably barely see it in the GoPro, but I'm using it for GPS. I'll look at it just to save the battery life. I don't have a 12-volt power outlet on this. And I'll look at it and I'll see how many miles I've got to that, and I'll look at the trip, and I'll get a rough guesstimate on the trip onto when my next turn is with 15 miles, add to whatever's on the trip, and go from there. You know, you don't have to constantly be looking at the stupid thing. But, oh well. But guys, I just thought I'd give you an update. 209. It's okay. I think it's a pretty good way, though, to go from, if you don't mind the wait, if you don't mind it taking a little extra time, I think it's a good way to go from this area, Hot Springs, if you went to like where I live, in that area. If you got off the exit Hot Springs and then that takes you all the way to the edge of Maggie Valley, for the most part. There's a few other little small turns, but that's 3/4 of the bulk of it to get there. So I might have to remember that on the next time, just to use that as just a back road way to get there. And then maybe once I got the Hot Springs or something, jump up on the interstate or something, and that would cut maybe 30 minutes down of taking, 209 or something. So, but yes, I'm getting kind of long in the tooth here, so to speak, long-winded, and I'll let y'all go. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you've not already done so, and we'll see you on the next one. See you guys.